All right, guys, before I get to today's video, I want to make sure everybody knows that the Stoeger STR9C is still up for grabs. So I think we're at about 860 or so subscribers as I film this video. Once we get to 1,000, this will be given away to a random subscriber. All you have to do is, number one, subscribe. You have to be legally, you can legally own a firearm, of course. It has to be sent to an FFL. It's not gonna be sent to anybody's house, so don't even ask. I'm not gonna do that. But that's it, guys. So this will be brand new in the box. Once we get to 1,000, I'm gonna make a big announcement for when I get to 5,000. I'm gonna wait for that, but it's something you guys are gonna wanna see. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. Tell your friends, whoever else you want to have a chance to win this absolutely free. So today's video, I'm gonna do a little comparison of 22 ARs. So my last video on the Tippmanns did pretty well and it seemed like there's a lot of interest. So today I'm gonna run over the Tippmann M4 22, which I have here, in comparison of the Smith & Wesson M&P 15 22. So I'm gonna shoot them both, kind of give you guys a couple of different views of it. I'm gonna go over things I don't like, things I like on each of them, price, of course, which is a big thing. So let's do a little shooting and see how they run. All right, guys, so that was a little bit of shooting between the Tippmann and the Smith & Wesson. So I'll run over my pros and cons with both. Very first thing I'm gonna do is give you a price point, because obviously that's the biggest thing here, and firearms are not cheap, even 22s anymore. So you can get a Tippmann M4 Elite. This is the Elite model. They're about $549, but they have a ton of different variants. So they have FDE accents, full FDE, pistol variations, a bug out one. They have a red line, it's basically red accents with a Hawkeye sight. So the range is basically, you know, you're starting at about $549 and it'll go all the way up to, I want to say like around upper 8s, so they can get pretty pricey. But starting out, it's in that 500 range. As far as the MP 1522 goes, there's a little bit less for options. They do a few different color schemes, this and that. They're starting at $450, so it's about $100 cheaper. So I'm going to give you the pros and cons of each. I'll let you know what I think between the two. So I'm just going to get into cons. We'll do cons first. So with the Tippmann, this gun here, I've had it for 4 or 5 years or so. Like I said, there's thousands of rounds through it. And right when I got it, it was having problems cycling the bolt. I tried different ammo, I tried all sorts of things. When I would take the bolt out, you could see there was some rubbing on the inside, so I called Tippmann. They had me send it to them. Obviously, they paid for shipping and everything. It ended up being an issue with the bolt, so they replaced it with the new nickel-plated bolt, which you can see here. And that's a lot smoother functioning. That's what they run in all of them now. So I had one of the earlier models. They replaced it, and I've had it's ran great ever since. And actually, they sent me a bunch of magazines too, just for, I guess, being nice. So they're really easy to work with. So that was a con right away. Another con I have which is kind of similar to that, is it is ammo picky in general. So I always run Stingers in here. Stingers, in my opinion, are about the most reliable 22 round there is. They have that coating on there. They just cycle a lot smoother. So, but if you run bulk, it'll run it, but you're going to run into failures to feed, just kind of random things like that. So that's something to keep in mind. I'll kind of run over my cons here with the 1522 full of snow. It's just how she likes it. So cons with this, when I got this, there's an extractor on here right on the bolt. When I first had it, it would not extract. I did everything I could, took it apart, cleaned it, looked at how sharp the extractor was. Long story short, I ended up getting a Valkortsen extractor. It's a lot sharper, so it pulls the rim of the case out really easily. So that actually lasted quite a while. I mean, I probably did 300-400 rounds trying to get that fixed. Once I did that, it ran flawlessly. The magazines are actually super reliable. So that's my con there. But it does not mind bulk ammo like the Tippmann dislikes. So that's something to keep in mind. So those are my big gripes about the two. I'll get into something. This isn't a gripe, it's just is what it is. We'll start with the MP. This is an all polymer upper and lower. So it's really light. That could be a pro for you, but it's polymer, so it's not aluminum. It's different than a standard AR, of course. I know what they're going for here. You know, it's a little bit more user-friendly, lighter. But if you're looking for a, you know, one-to-one, basically from 22 to 5.56, the Tippmann's gonna take it all day long. So it doesn't have a dust cover. You can see it doesn't kind of look fully like an AR on the side. The bolt's a little bit different. It has no forward assist, which is fine. It's not a big deal. It does have a bolt close on the side here, which is fully functional, which is great. It just doesn't have the same feedback, I guess, as a real AR does. So if you're looking for that, this may not be exactly what you want, but it does have M-lock on the side for attachments. You can see you have an angle grip. It does come with Magpul sights on it, and then has a pick rail on top, similar to the Tippmann. So it is similar. Also, I want to show you the magazines here. They will look different than a true M4. You know, you can see the follower in there. It's spring assisted, so you can pull that down when you're loading. So that's pretty nice. I think this gun is a little bit more user friendly. It's lighter. It's reliable. Not to say the other one isn't, but it's pretty reliable. It just feels more like a toy, if you will. It just doesn't, you know, kind of have the same bulk. So for 450 bucks, I think it's a good option. So I'll kind of run over with the Tippmann here quick. And I already did a video on the Tippmann, but I'll just say compared to that. So in my honest opinion, if I can buy this for $100 more than that, I will buy this all day long, every single time. So I ended up picking this up after I had the MP, and I just love that it's all aluminum, upper and lower, a lot of interchangeable parts with a, you know, with a standard 5.56, which is awesome. They have more options for, you know, they have aftermarket charging handles, triggers, drop-ins, which is just the same as doing it on a real AR. M-lock on the side, pick rail on the top. The magazines also, since I showed you that one, kind of have this cool, you know, it looks a lot more like a standard M4 mag. And then when you open it, it kind of turns into that. There's a little button on the side, and you can see your rounds in here. Slide this down just like the other, slide it back in, and it just has a lot more of the better looking aesthetic, in my opinion. And I didn't mention it with the MP, so I'll kind of, sorry to backtrack here, but so with the Tippmann, it operates on a buffer spring. It is exactly the same. It's just a lot lighter spring than in an AR. So if you throw an AR spring in there for 5.56, it's not going to cycle. It's a, you know, 5.56 is a lot more pressure, it's a lot more velocity. The blowback on it is much different. So it's a light spring in there, but it operates on a buffer spring. The M&P does not. So if you take the upper and lower apart, it's just a solid piece in the buffer tube. That's another difference. And I mentioned this in other videos, you know, you have the dust cover. You do have a nickel-plated bolt in all the new ones you're going to buy. So when I had that issue when I first got it, they didn't have the nickel-plated bolt out yet. So now that they do, they work great. I have that FDE Tippmann, functions great. With both of these guys, keep in mind, don't expect to run 500 rounds flawlessly through it. They get so dirty so fast. But the good thing about these, you take the upper off, you slide the bolt out just the same as you would on a 5.56. so you can get all the nooks and crannies clean. It's a big difference between running, you know, something like this or a Ruger 1022 where you really can't get in. So I don't want to make this too long in the tooth. I probably already have. So between the two of them, my personal preference is the Tippmann. I have nothing but good things to say about the MP, but since this is on the market, I absolutely, this is always my go-to. We small game hunt, a lot of raccoon hunting, rabbit hunting, squirrel hunting. I always use these. I used to use that. Once I got this, I kind of switched over. Now that's just kind of for friends if they want to use it or whatever. So between the two, I'd pick the Tippmann. I just want to let you know, guys, I really appreciate the support. The channel has been growing, and that's awesome. I mean, I love doing this, and I want to keep it growing. You know, I'm working with a couple companies. I'm actually trying to work with Shadow in getting, they have that new CR920 Performance Edition coming out, and I've been talking with them, and there's a good chance I'll be able to get that early. So that'd be awesome, and stick around. Be sure to subscribe for the giveaway, and there's another big giveaway coming here, guys, and you're really going to want to be around for it. So I appreciate the support, and thanks for watching.